Please subscribe, like and share this content. It means a lot to us. Thank you in advance.
To U.S. Code Chapter 5, Library of Congress. To U.S. Code Paragraph 179N, National Film Preservation Board. A. Number and appointment. 1. Members of the librarian shall establish in the Library of Congress a National Film Preservation Board to be comprised of 22 members, who shall be selected by the librarian in accordance with this section. Subject to subparagraphs C and N, the librarian shall request each organization listed in subparagraphs A through Q to submit a list of 3 candidates qualified to serve as a member of the board. Except for the members at large appointed under subparagraph 1, 2, the librarian shall appoint 1 member from each such list submitted by such organizations, and shall designate from that list an alternate who may attend at board expense those meetings to which the individual appointed to the board cannot attend. The organizations are the following: A. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. B. The Directors Guild of America. C. The Writers Guild of America. The Writers Guild of America East and the Writers Guild of America West shall each nominate 3 candidates, and a representative from one organization shall be selected as the member and a representative from the other organization as the alternate. D. The National Society of Film Critics. E. The Society for Cinema and Media Studies. F. The American Film Institute. G. The Department of Film, Television, and Digital Media of the School of Theater, Film and Television at the University of California, Los Angeles. H. The Department of Cinema Studies of the Tisch School of the Arts at New York University. I. The University Film and Video Association. J. The Motion Picture Association of America. K. The Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. L. Screen Actors Guild. M. The National Association of Theater Owners. N. The American Society of Cinematographers and the International Photographers Guild, which shall jointly submit 1 list of 3 candidates from which a member and alternate will be selected. O. The United States members of the International Federation of Film Archives. P. The Association of Moving Image Archivists. Q. The Society of Composers and Lyricists. 2. Members at large. In addition to the members appointed under paragraph 1, the librarian shall appoint up to 5 members at large. The librarian shall also select an alternate for each member 2 at large, who may attend at board expense those meetings which the member 2 at large cannot attend. B. Chair. The librarian shall appoint 1 member of the board to serve as chair. C. Term of office. 1. Terms. The term of each member of the board shall be 4 years, except that there shall be no limit to the number of terms that any individual member may serve. 2. Removal of member or organization. The librarian shall have the authority to remove any member of the board, or the organization listed in subsection A. Such member represents, if the member, or organization, over any consecutive 2-year period, fails to attend at least 1 regularly scheduled board meeting. 3. Vacancies. A vacancy in the board shall be filled in the manner in which the original appointment was made under subsection A, except that the librarian may fill the vacancy from a list of candidates previously submitted by the organization or organizations involved. Any member appointed to fill a vacancy before the expiration of the term for which his or her predecessor was appointed shall be appointed for the remainder of such term. D. Quorum. 12 members of the board shall constitute a quorum, but a lesser number may hold hearings. E. Reimbursement of expenses. Members of the board shall serve without pay, but may receive travel expenses, including per diem in lieu of subsistence, in accordance with sections 5702 and 5703 of Title V. F. Meetings. The board shall meet at least once each fiscal year. Meetings shall be at the call of the librarian. G. Conflict of interest. The librarian shall establish rules and procedures to address any potential conflict of interest between a member of the board and responsibilities of the board. To U.S. Code Paragraph 179O, Responsibilities and Powers of Board. A. In general, the board shall review nominations of films submitted to it for inclusion in the National Film Registry and consult with the librarian, as provided in Section 179 minutes of this title, with respect to the inclusion of such films in the registry and the preservation of these and other films that are culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. B. Nomination of films. The board shall consider, for inclusion in the National Film Registry, nominations submitted by the general public as well as representatives of the film industry, such as the guilds and societies representing actors, directors, screenwriters, cinematographers, and other creative artists, producers, and film critics, archives and other film preservation organizations, and representatives of academic institutions with film study programs. The board shall nominate not more than 25 films each year for inclusion in the registry. C. Powers 1. In general, the board may, for the purpose of carrying out its duties, hold such hearings, sit and act at such times and places, take such testimony, and receive such evidence, as the librarian and the board consider appropriate. 2. Service on Foundation 2. Sitting members of the board shall be appointed by the librarian, and shall serve as board members of the National Film Preservation Foundation, in accordance with Section 151,703 of Title 36. 2 U.S. Code Paragraph 179p, National Film Registry Collection of Library of Congress. A. Acquisition of archival quality copies. The librarian shall endeavor to obtain, by gift from the owner, an archival quality copy of the registry version of each film included in the National Film Registry. Whenever possible, the librarian shall endeavor to obtain the best surviving materials, including preprint materials. Copyright owners and others possessing copies of such materials are strongly encouraged, to further the preservation purposes of this Act, to provide preprint and other archival elements to the Library of Congress. B. Additional materials. The librarian shall endeavor to obtain, for educational and research purposes, additional materials related to each film included in the National Film Registry, such as background materials, production reports, shooting scripts, including continuity scripts, and other similar materials. C. Property of United States. All copies of films on the National Film Registry that are received as gifts or bequests by the librarian and other materials received by the librarian under subsection B shall become the property of the United States government, subject to the provisions of Title 17. D. National Film Registry Collection. All copies of films on the National Film Registry that are received by the librarian under subsection A of this section, and other materials received by the librarian under subsection B, shall be maintained in the Library of Congress and be known as the National Film Registry Collection of the Library of Congress. The librarian shall, by regulation, and in accordance with Title 17, provide for reasonable access to the films and other materials in such collection for scholarly and research purposes. E. National Audio-Visual Conservation Center. The librarian shall utilize the National Audio-Visual Conservation Center of the Library of Congress at Culpeper, Virginia, to ensure that preserved films included in the National Film Registry are stored in a proper manner, and disseminated to researchers, scholars, and the public as may be appropriate in accordance with 1. Title 17, and 2. The terms of any agreements between the librarian and persons who hold copyrights to such audiovisual works. 2 U.S. Code Paragraph 179Q, Seal of National Film Registry. A. Use of seal. 1. Prohibition on distribution and exhibition. No person shall knowingly distribute or exhibit to the public a version of a film or any copy in any format of a film which bears the seal described in Section 179 minutes A. 3 of this title if such film, A. is not included in the National Film Registry, or B. is included in the National Film Registry, but such film or film copy has not been approved for use of the seal by the librarian pursuant to Section 179 minutes A. 1 D of this title. 2. Prohibition on promotion. No person shall knowingly use the seal described in Section 179 minutes A. 3 of this title to promote any version of a film in any format other than a registry version. B. Effective date of seal. The use of the seal described in Section 179 minutes A. 3 of this title shall be effective for each film after the librarian publishes in the Federal Register, in accordance with Section 179 minutes A. 2 of this title, the name of that film as selected for inclusion in the National Film Registry. 2 U.S. Code Paragraph 179R, Remedies. A. Jurisdiction. The several district courts of the United States shall have jurisdiction, for cause shown, to prevent and restrain violations of Section 179Q(a) of this title. B. Relief. 1. Removal of seal except as provided in paragraph 2. Relief for violation of Section 179Q(a) of this title shall be limited to the removal of the seal of the National Film Registry from the film involved in the violation. 2. Fine and injunctive relief. In the case of a pattern or practice of the willful violation of Section 179Q(a) of this title, the United States District Courts may order a civil fine of not more than $10,000 and appropriate injunctive relief. 2 U.S. Code Paragraph 179's, Limitations of Remedies. The remedies provided in Section 179R of this title shall be the exclusive remedies under Sections 179 leaders to 179W of this title, or any other federal or state law, regarding the use of the seal described in Section 179 minutes A. 3 of this title. 2 U.S. Code Paragraph 179D, Staff of Board, Experts and Consultants. A. Staff. The librarian may appoint and fix the pay of such personnel as the librarian considers appropriate to carry out sections 179 letters to 179W of this title. B. Experts and consultants. The librarian may, in carrying out sections 179 letters to 179W of this title, procure temporary and intermittent services under section 3109B of Title V, but at rates for individuals not to exceed the daily equivalent of the maximum rate of basic pay payable for GS 15 of the General Schedule. In no case may a member of the board or an alternate be paid as an expert or consultant under this section. 2 U.S. Code Paragraph 179U, Definitions. As used in sections 179 letters to 179W of this title, 1. The term librarian means the Librarian of Congress. 2. The term board means the National Film Preservation Board. 3. The term film means a motion picture as defined in section 101 of Title 17, except that such term does not include any work not originally fixed on film stock, such as a work fixed on videotape or laserdisc. 4. The term publication means publication as defined in section 101 of Title 17, and 5. The term registry version means, with respect to a film, the version of a film first published, or as complete a version as bona fide preservation and restoration activities by the librarian, an archivist other than the librarian, or the copyright owner can compile in those cases where the original material has been irretrievably lost.